What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of The Real Movie Guys. Real guys, real movies, real thoughts. My name's Kevin.
I'm John.
And today we're going to be looking at Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. Wow, that's a mouthful. It's the latest edition from the DC universe, bringing another comic book character back to life. Harley Quinn previously was in the Suicide Squad movie, and she got a spin-off. So this movie takes place, Harley Quinn has broken up with the Joker, she's left him, kicked him to the curb, and now she's out on her own.
Mr. J.
Yeah, this time she's teaming up with some other girls, and there's a girl who needs her help. She stole a diamond. And wow, this movie's all over the place already, and we barely just started. I'm not gonna lie, I was excited going into this movie. I did, as much as Suicide Squad's terrible in so many glorious ways. Margot Robbie nails Harley Quinn. I mean, you can't argue that. The look, the attitude. She's a really good Harley Quinn. You know, from someone who's read the comics, watched Batman the Animated Series, she nails the character. She is Harley Quinn. This movie, on the other hand, a bit of an identity crisis. What do you think? What are your thoughts on this?
See, I agree with you with her nailing the character.
Yeah.
I've always liked like the Harley Quinn type character too. Like
Right.
I've always felt that like she's so different and strange in a way, and
Right.
like has that little personality. And I saw this movie, and I feel like she kind of hit like the nail on the head with that.
Right.
And like just watching this movie, like in some things it was like there was just some weird things into it, and I wasn't crazy about like her, like Harley Quinn actually like telling the story of herself, because I felt that was kind of weird.
Let's get into that. So right off the bat, I'm going to say before we get any further, there will be some spoilers in this. So if you want to check out the movie, beforehand, check it out. Come back, watch our video. If you don't care, stay for the whole thing. Totally up to you guys. Yeah, this movie, again, when I said it had an identity crisis, I feel like it didn't know what it wanted to be. When it first opened up, I was okay with it. It was good. It was fine. It was starting out where, they're telling the backstory. She broke up with the Joker. She's sad. She has all these problems going on. And then we start to go into the plot of the movie, where I feel like maybe something more linear would have been better. They start going into, Harley Quinn's breaking into a police station, and you really don't know what's going on, honestly. You just know she's going into a police station for some reason. And she's like, stop. Okay, let me tell you what really happened. And then they rewind, and they do this whole thing where she gives a whole backstory on all these people, and it just slogs the movie down. I mean, it just like, for me, I felt like the movie stopped for like a hot 20, it felt like 20 to 30. I don't think it was that long. Maybe it was like 15, probably 15, 20 minutes, maybe. It felt longer than that, but it stopped and like went over, okay, this is who Black Canary is. This is who the young girl is Cassandra Cain. This is who the cop is, and Huntress. And it wasn't very linear. And, you don't have to have a linear story, but I felt like if you rearrange some of like the trope of saying stop, I forgot to tell you who this was, and actually just put it in actual order, I think the movie would have been a little bit better. It would have been a little more streamlined. I feel like they were trying to make her like Deadpool, in a way. Like they were trying to do like a Deadpool, almost breaking the third wall kind of thing with her. And I know she's more commonly, she's more. She's been argued to be more similar to Deadpool now in the comics more recently, with some of her like antics and third wall breaking. You can have that. That's fine. But your storytelling was just so disjointed for this movie. It was, I want to say that passage of time was kind of hard to follow at times. Yeah. And just the way you revealed the characters, I wasn't very interested in them that way.
No, it was very weird too.
Yeah, like, I mean, Black Canary was fine.
Also, the random things that they threw into this movie, like about the sandwich,
which is fun, and they're
like
fun.
Her weird living situation.
Yeah, and they're, again, ultimately, I want to stress, they're fine and they're fun, but it's so out of place. Like, I don't know, it's just, it didn't feel right. If that makes any sense. It felt like a Deadpool kind of thing. Like, oh, look how quirky and weird I am. Which she is quirky and weird, and I get it, but there must have been a better way to go about it. Like a different kind of reveal. than the way they went about it. It was just so disjointed and out of place. I couldn't really nail the timeline that was going on or get to know the characters.
Yeah. Like I understand what you're saying.
I mean, I would argue this movie really just should have been the title's atrocious. Let's just get right to it. The birds of prey are an afterthought in this movie. They really aren't the birds of prey to the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
They're not even. They're really never the birds of prey till like she's like giving like a monologue or an epilogue at the end of the movie, and she's like, "Oh well, they joined up and became a team." And
yeah,
okay, well,
she steals the car and leaves.
Yeah, and it's like, all right. I don't know. It should have been. I mean, he could have just done like the Harley Quinn, the Emancipation of Harley Quinn, or just to say, and the Fabulous Emancipation of Harley Quinn. It could have just been like the Harley Quinn movie, or, something a little more simple, and then have the birds of prey in it, and didn't really need to just do like Harley Quinn, like subtitle Birds of Prey.
Yeah, I didn't feel like the Birds of Prey for the title made
like
much
DC.
sense.
That's pretty stupid on your part. I feel like your selling point is Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, what you want to say about her, she's pretty she's become more mainstream from when we were younger to now. She's definitely become like a mainstream character. And Harley Quinn's going to sell tickets. I don't think literally the title Birds of Prey is going to sell tickets.
No, I think if you put Harley Quinn in it, that would sell more. More people would be like, oh, okay, I know what this movie's about. Right. Instead of just like the title. Because some people just look at titles and they're like, Birds of Prey. Yeah. Doesn't sound that good.
Right. And I mean, there's other issues with this movie, but we'll keep going. So the plot, from what essentially the plot is, this young girl, she steals a diamond from a bad person she shouldn't have stolen it from, and the bad guys want it back. So now they're enlisting Harley Quinn. They'll either you help us or we'll kill you, and if you help us, we'll set you free and stuff, and get this diamond back. It's such an overview. I don't know how many times I've seen that plot used in movies where it's just like, gotta get the kid, gotta get the item back, and just
and it's always the thing too, like where you always see it where they're like, okay, I'll kill you, or we're gonna set you free, but then they always send other people after it too. It's almost like kind of it's almost like the same thing in a lot of movies right now.
It just was a very like bleh plot. Bleh. I've seen it before. Bleh. That's the word I use. Bleh. Like whatever, take it or leave it. It wasn't for me. It wasn't anything compelling. Wasn't anything different. You had a fun character, misused opportunity with that. You could have had something crazier. I think.
I also think like when it comes down to like the main bad guy too, I did not like him.
So let's get into that then. Ewan McGregor. All right, Ewan McGregor, Mr. Obi-Wan Kenobi himself, is Black Mask. You didn't like him. You didn't like him.
I didn't find him to be like I didn't see like him as like a really bad guy or like a great villain at all.
So here's
I understand like when he was cutting the people's faces off and stuff.
Okay, so
but
let's get into that. Like he's a club owner. All right, so Black Mask or not even Black Mask. What was his name? Kilgrave. Is it Kilgrave?
Something like that.
What is it? Oh, that's really bad. I should really know that. And that's Roman. No, why did I say Kilgrave? That's a totally different. Roman Sionis. Okay, Roman Sionis is Black Mask, who wears a black mask for 1 minute in the movie, which is fine. Whatever. I get it.
I thought it was 2.
You're paying Ewan McGregor. You're paying for the man's face because people love him. You're paying for that, so you don't want to cover it up. Is what it is. I can get over that. Ewan McGregor is. At first, he's interesting. Okay, at first they show he's a little possessive. He's crazy. He's definitely crazy, and he's out there, and he's flamboyant, and the man's chewing the scenery all over the place. He's going nuts. He's like, I own all this town is mine, and flinging his hands around, being all sassy and crazy, and I'm okay with that. I'm like, this is fine. I'm like, but you're not really bad yet.
It also made it seem like he was trying too much to be like the Joker character in a way. And not his own character.
So they do something I don't really like in movies. They go the easy route. They're like, I hate women. Like, what the hell did that come from? I don't know. Like, okay, I get you're possessive and stuff, but then he's like, suddenly he just like, there's this girl like laughing. He's like, oh, get on the table, take her clothes off. go crazy,
Yeah.
dance with me. I hate women. Women are all bees and blah blah blah
And the
blah.
weird thing
I'm like,
is,
what? Where did this come from?
when he tells the guy, cut her dress off,
Like,
and
whoa.
you're like, wait, what does this actually serve to this movie?
So, and that was an argument that I think a lot of people would have, and I was worried about it. Were they going to be just saying all men bad? Grr. And I think the movie does lean towards that in a way. I mean, there's not a good male character in the whole movie. I mean, obviously you got the Joker, who's a piece of crap, but he's a piece of crap anyway, so whatever.
And
All the
then
men are bad. All the
all the
men are
men
bad.
cops, the men cops are terrible.
Even what was it? The guy, she lives in this small apartment above a Chinese store, and he's like the
That
one nice
guy's
guy, and then he ends up being a dick too. And it's like, oh well, you're another male's bad. Like, grr, men bad. Only
well,
women.
the worst part was you saw him for like 2 seconds, and you're kind of like, oh, guy kind of seems nice, and then like almost a couple scenes later,
Right.
it's like he's like, oh, they paid me a lot of money, so I got a bigger
Yeah.
Chinese food restaurant now, so
So
you're out.
if you learned anything from Birds of Prey, all men bad. Grr. Which is terrible. I hate that. I'm sorry. I
they'll
mean,
they'll do
even
anything for money.
even with if it was reverse, I would hate it too. If it was all women bad, or like, no, not everyone's a piece of crap. I guess
Oh.
she's trying to get over a breakup, but not every guy's a piece of crap. Like, seriously, I mean, and they're going for female empowerment, which is fine, and that's great too. I'm all about that. But the all men bad, and then just using this really lackluster device to make him just like hate women. So like, I get I can agree with you. He's a dick, and he's a little weird and like whatever. But then just to be like, I hate all women, or I'm gonna destroy everybody, and no,
Yeah,
sorry, that wasn't for me. That was out there.
it was kind of just like a random thing to throw in to be like, oh, let's see if this will stick in there now.
Yeah, and then he had his little buddy. They Victor Zaz, played by Chris Messina, he's a TV actor. He's been in a couple TV shows. I've seen him in, and probably a few movies too. But he plays Victor Zaz, who's his like assistant. In the comic books, he's a serial killer that marks up his body every time he kills somebody. He puts a little scratch on him. They pay tribute to that in the movie, which is fine. But they also make him kind of like his like I'm gonna say is like his gay lover. I think.
Yeah, but
It
you
was
know what's
definitely
weird?
strongly hinted at that. They were definitely
know,
together or something. I don't know what that was about.
well, like when you're saying like they pay tribute to that part,
Yeah.
I felt like they didn't explain that part though either. They kind of just threw it in there, kind of like, so if you were just watching and you didn't know about that,
Right.
it kind of just seemed like, okay, you're
Well, that's
creepy
the problem, and
you're weird and you just got scars all over you, like,
and you're fun, and it's funny you bring that up because I thought about that one. I've tried to take a more different approach when I've watched comic book movies because being such a big comic book fan, I feel like I'm more in tune with like I know about these characters. Like me going into, I have preconceived notions of what these characters are about and who they are.
and you kind of like know their backstory.
Right.
In a way.
So, but most people don't. I realize that a lot of like like we just said, you have no idea who Victor Zaz is. Like, who the hell is that guy? See, I know who that guy is, and I'm like, oh, okay, he cuts his body. You going to like, why the hell is he scratching up his body for like a weird? Okay, that's just weird.
Like, yeah, it like when they threw it in there, like, okay, if you explained it to me like a little bit, even like
I feel
2 minutes,
that's
I'd
another
be
video.
okay with it.
That's like another video topic. Like, is it okay for? Is it okay? Is it good to have a preconceived? Like, should there be required reading going into a comic book movie? Like, should I have to read something beforehand to understand it, or should I just understand it right away from when I watch it? That's the whole thing. Marvel does that very well. Marvel, I feel like, again, we're getting off topic, but Marvel does that very well where they've set us up and they've given us all the lore up. I mean, yeah, there's some winks and nods, but everything you need to understand is in those movies. In this, it's not really like that. I mean,
Well, I feel like it's also kind of like you're saying about that. This is kind of like a second movie to a movie that never came out yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well,
like in a way,
that's part of my problem. And again, I want to stress that about it being disjointed. She breaks up with the joke. It's well known. Jared Leto, they didn't get him for this movie, and his Joker was done, and yada yada yada. And I think a scene or two might have helped with that. To help the audience.
That was the other thing that was the thing I was kind of waiting for too.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of waiting for like the Joker to come in like at any part.
Yeah.
And then like after like the whole thing ends and I didn't see him in it,
Yeah,
I
Uh,
was kind of just like,
you could
all right,
use him.
that's a little weird.
Yeah, you could use him, but Harley. I mean, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. She really does carry the movie. Like
Oh
all
yeah,
her
definitely.
scenes, I loved all her scenes. She carried all her scenes. We'll go through the characters just real quick. So we have Black Canary.
Hmm.
Black Canary, she was fine. You know, we got a little backstory on her. What did you think about when they revealed her cry when she uses her? Were you like, what the hell is this? Were you like totally confused?
Well, the weird thing is like when I heard her singing at the place and the glass broke,
Okay, so did that give you like a
I
hint?
I
Yeah,
kind of knew who it was then,
yeah,
but I also felt weird because like nobody else made it like a big deal, you know? It was kind of just like, oh, this kind of happened, you
yeah.
know? Like
I
she's got a really good voice or
I think
something.
they could have dropped some more hints that she had power and she was holding it back. Would have been better for the audience.
Yeah.
Like,
I
oh,
mean the
she
one
does this, or maybe give her like something where she used it and it killed someone,
yeah.
or
I
something
mean
like that. But it wasn't really like it was like, oh, okay, well you just yelled and that helped everybody, so that's
yeah.
fantastic.
But like also with all like the characters in this movie,
Right.
like there's some that I liked
Mm-hmm.
and some that I could have done without.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
I thought Black
Montoya,
I
for
thought
example. Let's go into her. So she's the dirty. She's in Batman. She's known as the dirty cop. She's always the dirty cop. No matter. I think even in was it Batman Begins. I think she's the dirty cop too, and even in that one, so she has a reputation being the dirty cop. Her story really wasn't compelling. I mean, they make fun of her a couple times, where it's like, "Oh, you have that. Oh, does she always talk like a cop from the '80s or whatever?" And like that was kind of funny. I don't think she really contributes much to the group, to be honest. She was just more of a a
see she
chasing
was
Harley Quinn. I felt
yeah, she
like,
was the one person that between her and the little girl, the young girl,
yeah,
I didn't like them at all. Like she was kind of like the cop was kind of
hmm
just like annoying and you kind of like felt when they put that shirt on her,
right,
it was kind of like all right, she's kind of like she's in this movie a little bit too much for me. Like I would rather like not have her in the movie, but I understand why she's there.
yeah. I mean, the little girl. I hate to harp. I feel bad, but she was just not a good actress. I didn't really care for her. She's Cassandra Cain. Most people, comic book readers, know her as she becomes the Spoiler, which is like a superhero. Works with Batman and stuff like that. I don't think they're going that route in this movie, but that's where her name came from. So that was kind of interesting. Uh, yeah, I didn't really like her though. She was whatever. She was a plot device too. Get everybody together and do what you got to do. Uh,
Yeah.
the only standout I will say, honestly though, uh, was it Huntress?
Oh
I
yeah.
liked her. I did like her. She was
I
fun.
thought
She's
I thought she
funny.
was awesome. Like, and they also kind of explained her backstory
Yeah, her
too,
backstory was good. Yeah,
which I thought was good. Like, you could understand where she's coming from with everything.
like maybe I would have just used her and Harley Quinn if you really wanted to do something. That would have been fine. Like there was enough backstory there with just her character that you could have
Yeah.
explored it a little more.
I
But
mean, I still like Canary in it because I thought she was really like she was a good actress
yeah,
in
she's
the
okay.
movie.
She's good. It's just it's too cluttered and just very just like I can't stress to you. I wish when you guys watch this movie, I do want you to watch it. I do think it's worth watching. Just so disjointed. I mean, there's the singing scene in the middle of the movie,
Oh,
which
that
is
what?
fine, but it
No.
doesn't add anything. It's just weird. It's not even
After
like funny.
after I heard like the singing scene about like the diamond, like when Harley Quinn's singing about the diamond,
Yeah,
literally in my mind, I went, "Wow, this the music in this is absolutely terrible."
it
Like
wanted to be
I was
again.
like,
It
"That's
wanted to be
bad."
Deadpool. It wanted to be Deadpool. It was like that was like a Deadpool thing where they would like branch off and do something silly. I don't know what they were thinking with that. That was just nonsense at that point. It slowed the pace down. It was weird. Yeah, no, didn't enjoy that. But like I said, yeah, all the characters we talked about pretty much all the characters. Uh, Other positives about this movie, uh, the action. I really liked all the action scenes. I will
Yeah.
say they were all in frame, as we talked about previously, and other things we've talked about. Uh, they're all in frame, all visible. Uh,
I also
Pretty cool, like really cool, like combos. Like when she's fighting with her baseball bat
oh,
was awesome. That whole scene was awesome.
I
Like
loved when she had
clever.
when she had the mallet though too.
Yeah.
I thought they did that very well. Like I thought it would have been like hunky dory, like
Well, here's a fun.
like just stupid little kid
So
things.
here's an
But I felt
interesting.
like they did it good.
Yeah, here's an interesting tidbit about that though. So apparently, I don't know if they were shot previously, but they went back in and reshot the action using the stunt coordinator for John Wick.
Hmm.
So when you look at it that way, it's like, okay, that kind of makes sense why all the action was very fluid and just like great. Like her busting into the police department, fighting in the storage was great. They were all
With her,
good. I mean, all her combos. I mean, it's tough when you have characters that aren't super powered. It's tough. It's especially, and I hate this, and I don't want to be sexist, but you know, a tiny framed woman beating up a giant man, you do have to convince the audience. I mean, there is a suspension of disbelief, of course, but at the same time, you have to make it look like she's beating him up, and they did in that movie. Like I believed it. Like she was hitting him with a baseball bat. It made
yeah.
sense. It was like, okay, she wasn't like grabbing him and just throwing him out of nowhere or punching him in the face. Like no, she was using like the environment and her agility, and you know
Well, yeah,
they were
and the
good. They were
different
well
weapons
done.
that she had.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it was good. So that I liked. The humor, take it or leave it. You know, I leave most of it.
I, I thought some of it was good. I thought some of it was
Yeah.
bad, but
Her dog Bruce was funny. She had a hyena in the movie. She only had one. She usually has two, but probably CG, you know, budget reasons. We'll give her one hyena, but she named him Bruce after the gorgeous billionaire. So that was kind of funny. Um, very little reference to Batman. He's referenced a couple times that you know that she's
yeah,
been
but
arrested by him.
not really though
Not
either.
really, and
Like,
it's fine. Again, it's just weirds me out sometimes in these movies where they can. I think Marvel's better at it now, where they can include other actors. But it's weird in a movie where it's like, oh, we can only talk about him. We can't show that, or like, I feel like it's like a big deal. Like, oh no, don't show Batman. Don't show Joker. Don't you know? Again,
yeah,
Joker's they had a situation, so it is what it is. But overall, like I said, this movie very disjointed. It's even hard to talk about in some instances because it's so disjointed. Like to pick a particular piece, I thought it was a little men bad, women good, a little preachy there. I could have done without that. I think they could have just told the story of Harley Quinn, just a relatable story. You know, someone getting over a breakup and then bouncing back and finding their own way. I didn't think we had to
yeah.
put down the whole gender while we were doing it, but again, I think it's enjoyable. I think comic book fans will get a fun time out of it. I think non comic book fans will enjoy it to an extent. Uh, the colors, the artistry, the cinematography is pretty good. Like I said, all the action's good. If you're looking for something a good action flick, it definitely satisfies that. You just kind of wade through the other stuff, which can be annoying. Some of the poor, disjointed storytelling.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll get another one. I don't know if this incarnation of the character's done. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think it did very well. But like I said, it's
You
a good
never know
time.
though.
You never know. So John, what would you give this movie? What's your final grade? Where are you like hovering? What's your thought?
I'd actually give this like a B minus.
B minus. Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna give it a C plus. I know we're
Really?
close, but I think I'd say as far as
we're a
our
little we're a
scale,
little off.
I'd say it's about average. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Like you know, it's not extremely insulting to any particular. It's not extremely insulting to male. It says all men are bad, but it's you know it's also not super
Yeah.
insulting. It's just like it's fine. You know, if you're looking for a live adaptation of Harley Quinn, I think you'll be satisfied there. What comes with her, you may not enjoy so much, but I think you'll have a good time. I think most people will enjoy it. You'll watch it once, forget about it. It's worth a stream. Maybe if it goes, you know, on some kind of streaming service, it's worth checking out. I don't know if I'd rush out to buy it or anything, but it's worth checking out. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely one that like you should definitely see.
I think you'll watch
Did
it and
you-
forget it. I think that's honestly what'll happen. I hate to say it. I think the action was very good, but the rest of the movie, I would leave it. If it comes back,
Well,
I'd like to see them just focus the story. That's all. Just
I
focus
think
the
also
story.
to see Margot Robbie's performances though as Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely a reason to go see it too.
Couldn't agree more with you. Couldn't agree more. But all right, guys. So I guess we're gonna catch you next time. John, where can the people find us at home? What should they be doing?
They should be hitting the subscribe button, hit a thumbs up if you like the video, hit that little bell so you can get notifications when we go live
Yep.
or we go out and put out videos. Also, you can find us and connect with us on Twitter at The Real Movie Guys on Twitter and The Real Movie Guys on Facebook.
Yeah, guys, like I said, make sure you do all those things. Make sure you try to follow us. Keep checking back on the YouTube channel. We're trying to upload regularly. Yeah, like I said, in the comments, leave us some ideas. Tell us what you liked, what you didn't like. Any feedback's great. Just any interaction. We'll take anything we got. But like I said, my name's Kevin. I got my buddy here, John. We are the Real Movie Guys. Real guys, real movies, real thoughts. We'll see you next time.
See ya.